Hi, I'm here to do a character ranking for the New Adventures of Batman, the 1977 Batman cartoon show that has the voices of Adam West and Burt Ward. It's a really fun show, in my opinion, and has some pretty fun takes on the Batman characters. And I thought it'd be fun to rank them. And I have 16 characters to rank, and I'm focusing on the heroes and the villains. And there are some villains that I think were created for the show, so that's pretty fun. Number 16, last place, is Clayface. Clayface being my least favorite of the prominent Batman villains, I think already hurts Clayface. And Clayface is a he's boring in the show compared to the other villains. Like, at least he's not scary, but he is boring, so that hurts him. Not an interesting character, in my opinion. 15, the Chameleon. Not the Chameleon from Spider Man, and certainly not as interesting of a character as the Chameleon from Spider Man. A very interesting personality, just not that interesting of a character. 14, Catwoman. Catwoman is a really great, important Batman character, but in adaptation, somewhat hit or miss. And the Adventures of Batman, a little bit of a miss. Not really as entertaining as the other villains, unfortunately. A little bit more entertaining than Clayface, but still not the best, in my opinion. 13, Commissioner Gordon. Commissioner Gordon, one of the two most important supporting characters in the Batman franchise, along with Alfred, and Alfred is mysteriously missing in the show. But Commissioner Gordon in the New Adventures of Batman, though, uh, he's pretty much there to give exposition, pretty much be a clueless character, which is what he's like in the 1960s live action show, but I felt like he was funnier there. The Gordon New Adventures of Batman is fine for what he gets to do, but one of the adaptations that makes Gordon not feel as important as I feel like he really is, unfortunately. 12, Electro, not the Electro from Spider Man. The Electro New Adventures of Batman is amusing enough villain. Not a villain that really feels like he fits in Batman. But he's fine. He's okay. 11, Moon Man. A villain that had a little bit of nuance and a sympathetic backstory and a little bit of development, which is cool. It does feel a little bit out of place in a show like The New Adventures of Batman, uh, but he works solid. 10, Batgirl. Batgirl is definitely a great character in a lot of versions of Batman. In New Adventures of Batman, she's likable, she's heroic, but out of the main heroes, she doesn't get a lot to do, and a lot of times it feels like she's there so Batman has somebody to hit on, which is pretty weird. So yeah. 9, Zarbor, an enemy for Batmite, who's pretty cool. Works for Batmite, doesn't fit too well for Batman, but a solid character. 8, Mr. Freeze. The Mr. Freeze in Adventures of Batman is ridiculous, corny, and over the top, and I quite enjoy him. Only one episode, but a solid episode. 7, Robin. Having Burt Ward voicing Robin is a lot of fun. I think helps give Robin a lot of personality, helps him be more likable. Definitely enjoy that. 6, Sweet Tooth, a very funny, over the top villain, very memorable character. 5, Batmite. I was a pretty big fan of Batmite as a kid. I had a lot of fun seeing Batmite. 4, the Penguin. The Penguin's definitely one of the most entertaining villains in the show, in my opinion. Penguin, very good. 3, the Joker. The Joker is ridiculous in the New Adventures of Batman. From the way he acts, from the way he talks, and I quite enjoy that about him. I think Lenny Weinrib voiced him and most of the other villains, and it's a lot of fun to listen to him. I really like the Joker in the show. I like a ridiculous, fun, over the top Joker. 2, Professor Bubbles. I felt like I had to give Professor Bubbles the highest ranking because of the villains because he's absolutely ridiculous, hilarious, and the most funny villain in the show. Just an absolutely ridiculous character. And I feel like Sweet Tooth's gotten some attention for obscure Batman villain, but I feel like it's not just him. I feel like Professor Bubbles needs some attention because he is one of the funniest obscure Batman villains. I feel like he's got so little attention, but for me personally, he sure is memorable. And then one Batman, and having Adam West get to voice a family-friendly Batman, I think is great. I feel like Batman just very much feels like a hero, a kind, thoughtful, sentimental character who can get comically angry at Batmite, but still appreciates Batmite at the end of the day, and a character that does the right thing, helps others, is heroic, lovable, entertaining to watch. He's great. I love Adam West's voice acting, and so Batman is my favorite. And that's my character ranking for the New Adventures of Batman.